cold plunging and how it relates to nervous system regulation. So I'm here at a facility where there is a cold plunge. However, you do not need to start with going somewhere to do the plunge. You can start by taking cold showers or getting your own cold plunge pool. The reason why cold plunge works and why I recommend it as one of the more beginner methods of nervous system regulation is that you will instantly be forced into breathing and regulating your breath. When it comes to breath or prana or whatever you'd like to call it, making sure that you have a consistent flow of breath and that you're not breathing in an irregular way can really help to create some awareness around where you're at with your nervous system. A lot of the times when we have had traumatic experiences, when we're constantly under stress, our breathing patterns actually change and we don't even know. So a lot of us are walking around not breathing correctly, doing more like shallow breaths, or breathing too much, or just barely breathing at all. So the first thing to do when it comes to this is to notice where your breath is at. When you're stressed, how are you breathing? And then once you have some awareness around that, then you can start to regulate that breath. So today, I'm gonna do the cold plunge, and you'll see instantly your body will tell you that it needs to breathe. A lot of people start off with the instinct to hyperventilate, to go, but that's just gonna really ramp up your sympathetic nervous system more than it needs to be. So in order for you to really regulate yourself in the cold, you need to slow down the breath. If you are going into a very cold plunge like I'm about to do, it's always safer to start with someone there with you. A coach or someone who can tell you, okay, it's all right, you're going to be okay, now focus on the breath. Because a lot of the time our instinct will kick in and we'll want to just either jump out or we want to panic. If you're starting at home and you're doing cold showers, the water will not be as cold and you'll be able to do this by yourself. So even if you do have circulation problems or if you have problems with your stress response, then doing it at home on a cold shower is probably going to be a more easy option, but still effective because you'll still be able to notice that breath and bring yourself back to center. Okay? All right. So let's go into the cold plunge and I will tell you a little bit more about the process. Okay, so we're at the cold pool. So usually with this water, it can range anywhere from just above freezing, like 32, to like 50 or so degrees. Usually when I get in here, it's about mid-40s, and which is pretty damn cold. So you'll see that like it takes a lot of concentration for me to make sure that I am regulated. There are a lot of different benefits to cold plunging that are separate from just nervous system regulation. For example, it can help your metabolism. It can really help reduce inflammation. But I'm talking about nervous system regulation because this is how we regulate our stress response. And a lot of us deal with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and various mood fluxes throughout the day. And we're just used to walking around like little stress balls. And I found that this practice has really helped kickstart my day in a way where I feel a lot more even and I feel like I can take on challenges in a much more clear, with a much more clear state of mind. Okay, so I'm gonna go get in and then you'll see how it is, all right? You'll watch my breath and how I get ready. Three, two, one, and load in. Okay, so if you are in a really cold pool of water, you can also dunk your head in and it will immediately raise your body temperature up 2 degrees. So it's a little bit of a hack. And while you're in here, if it's difficult, I recommend doing some vagus nerve stimulation. So if you want to hum to yourself, like, or you could do the little like the horse lips. Those are other ways to help you get through the cold. So I'm going to stay in here for probably another 5 minutes or so, but just wanted to show you a little bit about cold plunge. I would recommend starting with cold showers, maybe 3 to 5 times a week, and go from there. Usually you don't need to stay in more than 2 minutes for cold water for you to get the benefits. I like to push it a little bit farther, but pushing it too far is also not a good thing. So, be gentle to yourself and try it out and let me know how it goes.